Hi, Kristina.
Hi, Sophie. Thank you so much for meeting with me to answer
Oh,
some of my questions
thank
that I
you.
have. I know a lot of us probably have a lot of the same questions when it comes to your work, so
Okay.
I took the time to write down some, and I would love to ask you.
Okay, great.
So, getting started, how old were you when you started becoming more aware of your spiritual gifts?
I was quite young. It's basically been a lifetime journey and a lifetime of memories. Um, when I was really specific memories, when I was in maybe third grade, I had these string dolls that we made in class, and they were made from yarn, and I had them. I had a dormer. My bedroom was like in a dormer, and I had them hanging with a piece of string, and they were hanging on the dormer, slanted ceiling, and I would lay in bed and I would spin them with my mind. And it was just something I did as I laid in bed, because when you're a kid, you have a bedtime and you go to bed, and then you wake up in the morning, and then at the time, Uri Geller was really popular at the time, and I didn't know who Uri Geller was, but so I've been doing this for months and months and months with these string dolls, and then my mom and her friend were watching. We were watching TV, and Uri Geller came on, and he's bending these forks and stuff, and my mom's friend said that's impossible, and so I was shocked, and I never did it since then.
Oh, wow.
I just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And so that was probably the first significant kind of, even though I knew I was doing it, it was almost like I wanted acceptance and approval from the grown-ups. And so it was like a natural thing for me to want to fit in. Um, Also, during that time period, when I was a little older, maybe fourth or fifth grade, I would leave my body at night and fly out of my bedroom window and go around the neighborhood. And we lived on First and Southwest Curry in the Lair Hill neighborhood in Portland. And I remember we weren't allowed, to go to the Four Courts Fountain, which is the Keller Auditorium. We weren't supposed to allowed to go there because it was too far, but we used to go there anyway and feel really risky. And so I remember flying over there, and it was just a cool sensation that you could swim in the air. And I remember going all the way down there out of body and feeling like it was dark out, and felt like I got to get back because mom doesn't want me to go that far. Like I felt like this is risky. And then I flew back home. But I looked forward to that every night when I went to bed. I looked forward to that. So fun. I can swim in the air. And I did it consciously. I knew what was happening. So there was that. And then basically, I, in the times that were really tough, all families have some times where you need to go comfort yourself. You need to learn to comfort yourself, and that's part of being human. But when I did that, when I was alone, I went really super deep within, and it was very expansive for me. And I would have a light inside. There would be a light inside. Normally you close your eyes and you feel it's just kind of dark. It's like a soft darkness. Yeah. And there's literally like a light that would go inside at the top and shine down. And it was very comforting to me. And so it basically I would journey inward when I felt like I was suffering. So I had moments of suffering, and I would go within. And I felt like this was the beginning of the development of because my natural instinct was to go within. I took a class. Well, basically, I had a meditation class in high school when I was about 17. And really quickly with the meditations, I started having spirits come to me and ask me for help. And it scared me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had when I was about 24, 25, I chose to go to the Omega Institute in New York to work and do a work study there. And in this time, I took lots of classes that were for self-development and developing yourself spiritually in a non-religious way. And I took a class on past life regression. And in the class, there was like, I don't know, 15 people in the class. And I was the only class that had a journey and actually could come back with a past life. And I realized how easy it was for me. And it felt so like this is my journey. This is my life. And so I knew pretty early on that working with the spirit realm was a gift and natural for me. I just didn't know where to go with it for a long time. And over the years, every time I meditate, I'd see spirits. And then over the years, maybe, several years now, the last 20 years, I have worked with teachers and decided to delve headfirst into it because it was like undeniable, that this is my path. And sometimes when you know your path, sometimes you rebel against it a little bit. Mm-hmm. So this happened. And then I've, had some really wonderful teachers that have taught me how to embrace it and develop my gifts. And I've had lots of training learned a lot of tools to help communicate with the soul, the divine world, and help people.
I love that.
So yeah, it's a long answer, but
yeah,
that's it.
No, that's fine. It kind of goes into my next question.
Okay.
Also, which is, what are some practices you have used to strengthen your gifts? Obviously, you shared a little bit about how schooling and working with teachers have helped, but I'm more thinking like practical practices that you can do in your own home to grow and develop your spiritual gifts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or
totally.
That you personally did too.
Yeah. And it's a really good question because because you do need to do that. You can it's really important to have to learn how to develop your own sixth sense. And it's kind of like lots of people see stuff. Lots of people have some of their clairs that are developed and some that are not, or come naturally to them, and some that are not. Yeah. But just like anything else, you need to develop it within yourself. So you can start out with a gift of something and you need to develop it, just kind of like a skier would need to develop with a coach, or you need to develop your body, and it takes consistency and it takes practice. And it's one interesting thing that I don't think people realize is that psychic work, it takes practice, like a daily discipline of practice. Mm-hmm. It isn't like you learn a tool and then you just jump in and start doing that. Mm-hmm. To really develop it, you need to develop it the same that you would with anything other thing, with skiing or gymnastics or writing. And basically, there are the number one thing people can do, or the number one thing one needs to do, which I feel like sometimes is maybe hard to get going with it, but meditating. So meditating and becoming aware of your own soul. Mm-hmm. So that's where really it needs to start. Okay. And you are your own source. So it's really nothing that's out here. It's you go within and the whole universe opens up. So you're encompassing the whole universe, and that's how it works. That's how energy works. So you go within and you breathe and you meditate, and meditate being you just feel your existence. You get comfortable with feeling your existence. And when things come up, feelings, or you learn to release them. So basically, there are different layers, different energy bodies. And when they are all, so becoming aware that there are different energy bodies, and then that they all need to be calm in order for the light, the clarity to come through. So if you're having like a moment of exasperation or something, you need to release it. And so you find tools to work with your emotional self and your mental self and your physical self. And all these things work together to help you be psychic. And then you focus your intention on the psychic. So to working with emotions, you can just write. A lot of writing is very helpful and healing.
Like emotional regulation, self-trust, building those.
Working on yourself. And basically it's just any feeling that is feeling like it's in your way of staying calm. So you can have these moments of peace with yourself, these moments of bliss. So you're kind of going towards how can I feel blissful? How can I feel serene? And then you go, well, I can't stop thinking. That's getting in my way. Or I can't stop having this feeling of anger. That's in my way. Or my stomach hurts. That's in my way. So you just kind of work on what are the things that I can do to clear those things, because they're all in your energy field. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Just being in a clear, calm headspace, and not letting physical aspects of your life or even emotional aspects of your life kind of muddle.
Well, only when you're meditating.
Okay.
So when you get into the meditative space, you need to learn to have it be clear in there, because you're going to have human experiences. You need to have your human experiences. But you also, when you meditate, that's the time when you learn to push it away and you find serenity within yourself.
Okay.
So it's not a matter of like not having human experiences anymore. It's a matter of knowing how to
detach in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And feel regardless of it.
Yeah. And when you have the experiential feeling of it, you know, oh, how can I find the serenity within me? So like you're going to Brighton Bush and you're sitting in the water. That is a powerful meditation for you. And also meditation can be that feeling you have when you're doing an activity or a thing where you feel like blissed out, like skiing. I love skiing, horseback riding, writing. What are these things that you feel your soul is drawn to do? And what the things you like to do are what your soul is drawn to do. So when you find those, you can find blissful moments in that. Yeah.
All right. Well, what is it like to be a psychic, and what is your day-to-day like as a psychic?
Well, I feel like I had a profound shift when I made a commitment to doing this work. I made a strong commitment to doing this work. And really, before I was doing this work full time and decided to make a commitment to doing it, it would just randomly show up for me. I would just randomly see a spirit, or I would have a random journey to the other side. And I learned through meditation as the foundation, I learned to harness it and I learned to have it not be so random and also not be so confusing for me.
Okay.
So I can open it and close it, but it's always happening. So sometimes it's like I will be sitting with someone and it has nothing to do with me doing a reading or anything, but I'll just start seeing someone's past life and I hold it.
You just sit with it.
Yeah, it's nothing for me to, it's just that it's kind of like when you start waking up and you start seeing, waking up meaning you're remembering the other side. When you start seeing all these things, it just becomes more natural. It kind of sometimes can be overwhelming, but if I see something with someone and I feel that it's important, maybe for me to tell them, I will always say, I'm seeing this about you. I'm a psychic. Would you like to know?
Yeah.
So, and then most of the time I don't really say anything. I mean, I've seen people have their little dogs that have passed away running around them. And yeah,
Beautiful.
I mean, it's really actually lovely to be, to do this work because I feel a lot of love for people and I'm in a higher place in my heart, in my life. So, yeah.
I love that. That's beautiful. If there was one thing you would want people to know about your work, what would it be?
Oh, I think that I have a deep passion for this work and I'm deeply empathic and I really want to help. My passion and my goal and my heart is aligned with helping people to remember the divine within them and that we are all our own portal. So everything, we're like born onto this planet, and then really I really feel and believe that everything that we're always seeking, each one of us, is that to rediscover that we're our own portal to the divine. It's not everything that's out here. Everything that we really desire and are seeking is within us. And so opening our heart and going within, it will, if you're willing to explore that, it's kind of shocking how wonderful it is and how like, oh, this is what we're all here to do, is to align ourselves with that kind of remembering and understanding that it's not out here, it's in here, and you are good enough and wise enough and wonderful enough for it to be you. You are your own portal. So this is my really gift for the world, is I want to give this to people. I really want people to understand that that they are the divine one. They are the one. And it's a matter of awareness and loving yourself and choosing that, really. It's just all it is a matter of choosing that.
Absolutely. I didn't have this question written down, but what you were saying really made me think about, as someone who sees what you see, how do you grapple with the feeling of knowing that there are a lot of people on earth that will never grasp the concept and that will keep seeking out things on the outside that will ultimately damage them, and having to bear witness to that as someone who could see, the other possibilities? How to like let go of that need to help, and that desire to help people see who they really are. You know what I mean?
Well, basically, when we're all, so in the higher realms, we are all one, and every one of us is on a soul journey, and the soul is perfect. So we are here to have an experience, And these souls, one of the things about being on the planet that is unique in this sort of all the realms is that we have free will, and we need to practice free will in order to have sort of the beauty and the goodness that we desire. But a lot of us kind of don't realize that because we grow up and we're told to behave a certain way. Our culture is kind of like that. We have a paradigm to fit into.
Yeah.
But when I travel inwardly to the other side, we're all there and we're all perfect beings. And I receive soul messages from people. And so in this, I know that there's lots of comfort for me because I can see the different layers of who we are and the choices that we've all made on our path. And it is very painful for me to see abuse and darkness. And I've had to learn to see it from a higher perspective because I can't control, I can't make it stop that way, but I can make it stop by raising my vibration.
I see.
So I have, I send prayer and light to the earth and to the people, inhabitants, the beings every single day in my practice. And I want to help everybody elevate. But it's interesting. It's an interesting question, and it's a really important question because, the soul is invulnerable. So we have, I've had to grapple with it a lot because it's been so painful for me. When I was younger, I would lay awake and cry about animal abuse and people abuse and child abuse, and I couldn't sleep. And you need to come to when you raise your vibrations and you go through the heart and you travel into the other realms and you start having a community awareness of this community, you realize even more profoundly that this is just a training ground on the earth, that we are about so much more. So you step in and help when you can. But helping people raise their awareness and their point of view is vitally important, and it spreads. So also we also have, this is really important, we have more of an impact than we realize with our positive natures. And even though it feels overwhelming, it has on the other side, it has an incredible impact. And when it has that incredible impact, it impacts the human. So whatever you can do to kind of honor the elevated feelings and the feelings of positivity, it actually helps a lot more. There's so much that we don't see as humans that we don't see, but it's really happening. The ripple effect is real. So I just would encourage people to hold that instead of focusing on the bad stuff. You focus on the gratitude, and it actually helps people. You send people good wishes and it actually does something. So
I like that. Thank you. That was very clarifying. And then what do you think is the most common misconception about your work, and how do you wish people viewed psychic/energy work?
well, I think that I feel like the most common misperception is, as a client, I don't have the answers. I want the answers from you. And most common misconception is that someone else can do this. It's true. I've chosen this path, and I've developed this path so that I can communicate with the other side and bring forth soulful energy and help with understanding about why something is the way it is, like relationships, and help people on their path.
Yeah.
So this is a true gift, but we all have, just like we all are. Well, I keep using the analogy of skiing, but I like that one. So you can go teach yourself to ski. You can go ski, but you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
You can develop yourself as a psychic. You have that ability, but you don't want to. Like, you choose the things you want to focus on.
Yeah.
So I really want people to know. Okay, so what is the biggest misconception? That I'm the only one, that psychics are the only one that get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have the ability to do it. So that's kind of that is probably the most prominent misconception for me is that I've chosen to develop it, and that, you can access it in your own way. And I encourage people to develop it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, just in knowing that, when you come to me, knowing that you have it too, you just have to develop it like I developed it. So it's taken years and years and years, and it isn't like something you necessarily want to do because you've already done it. But you can find ways to, because you've already picked your sort of what excites you.
Yeah.
But you have the ability to, I really want people to trust their hearts. So the ability that I can't trust, the thing is that this person has all the answers for me. That kind of makes me a little bit like, I want people to elevate themselves and feel more than that. Just like if you were going to have body work done or something, you have body work, and then you go and you stretch and you work on your own body.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but you don't have to. You can make the choice. It's just that I think also too, that psychics that bring negative energy or negative messages, I don't really think that that's of value. And so I go through the angelic beings and the guides, and I work with the light. And if you receive messages that you feel that make you afraid, like you're going to lose all your money or you're going to blah, 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 I don't feel that is why psychics are here. That is the opposite.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that's it. That's the misconception.
I love that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions.
Yeah.
for
And
me.
another misconception actually is that people think that I'm going to see all their secrets when I'm just hanging out with them.
Yeah. I bet that's a big one.
Yeah. And that's, sometimes I see things, but the thing is, I view it it's just energy. It's a non-judgmental energy. It's non-judgmental. So it's like, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're viewing a situation from like a bird's eye view almost, taking your emotional energy out of it and just seeing it as it truly is, and not with all the debris of, and not debris of emotion, but you know what I mean? Like,
clarity.
because you're not feeling those feelings, because you've been in that meditative state and you've kind of, cleared the path of your own mind and your own heart to see things for what they really are in the spiritual sense, instead of letting emotions carry things away. And
Yeah, so it's like
extra meaning.
it's like a higher point of view, like, and I see that we're all humans on a path.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're kind of like have a secret about, I have a crush on her husband and I don't want anyone to know, that's just a human thing.
Yeah.
That's not I don't see that as, oh, this is a problem. I'm like, no, this is like, I mean, so here's an example. My husband had a studio and I started seeing this blonde woman walking around him, blonde woman. And I was like, this is making me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I asked him next time I saw him, I said, do you have some new kind of studio neighbors, you know? And he goes, oh, yeah. And then he told me about this blonde woman. And I was like, so like this kind of thing, when it affects my life personally, I have to just kind of look at it and go, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. I mean, because I felt like I was feeling like, oh, my husband's getting some attention from this person. I could feel that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an interesting thing. It wasn't like he wasn't doing anything wrong, but it was almost just like I had a peek into this thing. And I really didn't, it was just energy. So you know what I mean? It wasn't like my lower self wasn't involved in it. I don't mean by lower self, I mean, when I feel like lower self, I mean the part of me that
might be more like reactive and jealous and things like that.
Yeah, I just didn't have that. I mean, and a part of that is like when you meditate, you do get more clear and you do get more happy because you realize that you're fine.
Yeah.
You realize everything is amazing. And so I really encourage everybody to meditate because getting all this clutter out of your head is what happens and it's accumulative. So the more you do it and the more regularly you do it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you sit and you do meditate for 10 minutes a day, it will change your life. You meditate and you release. And you know, people think that sounds really easy or I don't need to do that or really, like, try it. It changes everything.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Rub my nose.
I love it.
Anyway, thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.